Hi everyone, I am just about to head out the door now to head to Smiles Orthodontics in North Vancouver to start my Invisalign treatment. Now I'm going with their Smile Refresh option so that I can just love my smile and feel really confident in time for my wedding, which is coming up. So this program should take around 3 months, give or take. Now I did have the traditional black and silver train track braces when I was a teenager, so my teeth aren't in a really bad state. However, I have noticed some very small gaps appearing at the front. So my Invisalign program is to correct anything that has sort of started to shift as I've got older, and also to prevent the gaps getting worse. I'm dressing very optimistically for the weather, but I better get going now. So I'm just at Smiles Orthodontics now. I'm sat in the chair. I've just watched a couple of really amazing instructional videos on how Invisalign works and how my particular treatment plan is going to work, and there's a really useful app as well to use. So I'm doing their Propel program, which is like an accelerated treatment plan. Here's what we're starting with, and here are the small gaps that I've been noticing.
You are going to take home your bag full of aligners today, and you're going to get started wearing them. So some important things to remember are that you need to wear the aligners 22 hours a day. This is something you don't want to compromise on. In order to get the desired result, it's very important that you wear them. Package, move on to aligners number 3, so on and so forth. It is important to keep your old aligners. If you find that your teeth aren't moving as predicted, we can ask you to move back in the aligners. This is also useful if something happens to them.
So I've just had my brackets put on, and I'm going to have them filed down and the glue neatened up a bit now. Well, I'm home from my Invisalign appointment at Smiles Orthodontics. I was there for about an hour in total, which includes learning how everything works, watching a few instructional videos and that kind of thing. And then the actual procedure didn't hurt at all. I have the brackets on now, so I'll give you another look. I don't have them on my 2 front teeth or my 4 bottom front teeth. You can see them sticking out a bit at the side, but from far away you might not be able to see them. Maybe I'll smile without my teeth for a little while. So I was hungry, I got home, I quickly ate some lunch, I've brushed my teeth, and now I need to put my aligners back in. So you should be wearing these for 22 hours a day. So I wanted to film this really quickly before I put them back in. You get this really handy box, which you should always pop your aligners in when you take them out so you don't lose them. Like, don't go putting them in a napkin or something in case it gets thrown away. I nearly threw one of my brother's aligners away once because he had it in a piece of kitchen towel on the side. So I'm going to clip these back in now, and you can hear how I sound, which is very funny. I'm talking with very strong lisp. Apparently that takes a couple of weeks to subside. I basically just need to keep talking and adjust to wearing them. I'm going to try to put them in just using this camera screen. I may need a mirror, but let's see. So you can can you see the shape of those? And will it focus? It always likes to focus on my face instead. Maybe I need to disappear. You might be able to see these little kind of hooks here which go over your brackets. So when you're putting the top ones in, I'm sure I'll get better at this, but from what I can remember, you line up your 2 big front teeth first and kind of clip them in, and then work your way around. There, easy. The bottom one's similar thing. Yeah, perfect. So here's how my voice has changed a bit. I'll get used to it. I just need to keep talking at home. Paddy said it's very cute. And I thought we could look through my bag together that I've come home with. And we can also get used to using the Invisalign app, which actually has things like a timer on it. So anytime, I can't stop laughing. Anytime you take your aligners out, you can start a countdown time on the app so that you know that you're not having them out for longer than 2 hours a day. So it's probably gonna stop me snacking so much. Maybe I'll eat a bit faster, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Okay, I've got everything laid out on the table behind me, so I'll go through and explain what everything is as best as I can. Okay, so these are the two most important things, box number 1 and box number 2 of the aligners themselves. So I currently have set number 1 on my teeth right now, but this is the second aligner set that I should be able to fit in 4 days' time. And then this is the Propel device, which I will use for 5 minutes every evening to accelerate the whole treatment plan, this makes it possible to change these every 4 days, essentially. This is the little aligner carry case that I showed you before, and then this is the box that the carry case came in, but in here there's also some cleaning crystals to clean your aligners with. And then I got some floss and lip balm and a bamboo toothbrush. This, I forget the name of this little widget, looks like a What's It, doesn't it? This is in case your aligners, if you go to put the new pack on, if they don't fit snugly enough to your teeth, you simply bite down on this, like move it along your teeth, bite down with each teeth to try to make it fit more snug. We'll call it a What's It. And this pack here is an Invisalign virtual care pack, and it's got this device that you put in your mouth for your orthodontist to check how your progress is virtually. You can do everything virtually. That's what the device looks like. Basically what I had fitted when I was in Smiles Orthodontics today. Hi everyone, it's now Friday and I had my Invisalign treatment on Wednesday. So yesterday on Thursday was the first full day of wearing my aligners. So I thought it'd be a good time to pop on here and just kind of share my experience, how I found things, little tips and things like that. So the first thing I've noticed, which was just how it impacts your eating. So obviously you can't eat with your aligners in, you have to take them out, and then once you've finished eating, brush your teeth, floss. You can sometimes just rinse your mouth out with water afterwards. So say you're brushing morning, middle of the day and evening, that should be enough. And then if you're snacking, you should just be able to rinse your mouth out, unless you're eating like candy or something. But it definitely does impact kind of how much I normally snack. I googled it, and actually it's a kind of unexpected, quite frequent outcome of Invisalign that people do lose weight unintentionally, because for example, if I'm preparing dinner, sometimes I'll just like snack on little bits as I'm cooking. I'm not doing that because I really want to have my aligners in for 22 hours a day. So if you're taking them out to eat breakfast, lunch and dinner and to have a couple of snacks, that could send you over if you're taking them out constantly. So it definitely has impacted how frequently I'm eating, and also I'm just like eating quite fast, very conscious of the time. So that's something just to be mindful of. Maybe some people will welcome losing a couple of pounds, but you know, make sure you are actually eating enough. And yeah, just an observation. I think that will also get better as well as I go through the treatment, because right now I'm still kind of getting used to taking the aligners out, so sometimes it takes me a bit of time. I'm not that used to kind of just unclipping them really quickly. On that note, a trick is to actually unclip them from the back of your teeth. So for example, if I'm using my right hand, I'll go over to my left side and just hook behind those teeth, and you kind of do it one side and then you can move to the other side and loosen it. You may feel a kind of spot on your upper or lower teeth, which is kind of the sweet spot where it's easier. There was one thing that was causing me a bit of uncomfort, and that is the hooks that are on my Invisalign. I'm not sure if everyone has those, but they're actually to keep elastics on. I'm not having elastics with my treatment, so One of them, I think when I was trying just to learn how to unclip my aligners, I had bent out slightly and it was kind of digging into my inside of my lip. I could feel it if I was talking or smiling, and it was quite bothering me quite a lot. So I googled it, or you can contact your orthodontist and you can just bend it backwards. Mine didn't seem to stay bent backwards, so I actually trimmed it very slightly, not properly onto your aligners, so I haven't actually like damaged the aligners, but just kind of smoothed off that sharp hook that was sticking out. I've actually received quite a few messages on my Instagram as well, just from sharing a few stories saying that I'm having Invisalign treatment at Smiles Orthodontics. One thing someone just asked me was, she said that she had been looking into Invisalign, but the thing that slightly put her off was just kind of the ongoing upkeep, as in sleeping with your final set of aligners kind of forevermore to keep your teeth nice and in the kind of perfect end result that you have. So she just asked if I plan to do that and how I'm feeling about it. I actually don't mind that at all, because I have actually slept with a night guard for about the past 4 years now. That was one of the causes of me getting these tiny gaps in my teeth, which has then prompted me to use Invisalign. That can happen with night guards sometimes, where they're quite like thick and they don't go all around your teeth and things like that. So I actually find sleeping in them absolutely fine. I'm not used to sleeping with them on my bottom teeth as well, but I haven't noticed it at all. It's so much easier to sleep with them compared to during the day, because you're not taking them out to eat, or if you're, yesterday I was at an event and I didn't want to unclip my aligners because I wanted to keep them in for 22 hours a day, and I was talking to people with a bit of a lisp and you're just quite conscious of people looking at your mouth. But after a couple of months I'm going to be so used to that I won't care anymore. So yes, I do plan to sleep in them forever after this, to keep them in a nice spot, because like I said, I actually had traditional braces when I was younger, and then I did have a metal kind of bar retainer. Was it for my bottom teeth as well, or just top teeth? Both, I think, that you could clip in. It wasn't very comfortable. It had a really hard bit that goes on the roof of your mouth and then a metal bar across the front, and I was supposed to sleep in those for I think 6 months after my treatment, and then I stopped. So then my teeth started shifting a bit. So I guess once you've gone through all this, having these on your teeth, spending the money, you do want the results to last. I also just wanted to show you this Propel device. So, oh, this is a good tip. When you first, if you're doing the Propel Invisalign acceleration option to speed up the whole treatment process, then when you first get home from your appointment, you should pop your Propel device on charge. I just charged mine for about 1 hour and it wasn't enough for it to actually work on the first night, because I'm supposed to use this for 5 minutes every night. You bite down on it and it vibrates. Just for 5 minutes, it turns off by itself, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can go about your business. It's even waterproof. I stepped in the shower with it. So what happens is it vibrates, and the vibrations start out really, really small, hardly noticeable, and then they build up. It doesn't get crazy, but it just kind of eases you into it. And I believe how this works is, I may have to check my computer quickly. I just wanted to make sure I'm telling you the right information. So how the Propel device works is, it increases blood flow in the bones surrounding your teeth, and that increases the activity of your jawbone, which in turn speeds up the movement of your teeth. There we go. So I'll show you how it works. It's best, I think, to do this if you've just been told to do it once a day in the evening, because then you're going to go to sleep. You're not going to take your aligners out for, say, 8 hours, so it will make the effects even better. I think some people might be told to do it twice a day, in which case you'll be doing it during the daytime as well, but I'm just doing it at night time. So, but I'll demonstrate now with this better light. So here you go. So you don't need to bite too hard as well. So just like that. Then press the button. It's vibrating. if you can hear it. I'll give it 5 minutes. It's finished, it turns off automatically and you can just rinse it. Also store it away from pets, especially dogs, because they may want to chew it. And that's that. It does feel a bit like you can feel some pressure there after you finish it. So today I am switching to aligner set number 4. I cannot believe how fast it feels like this treatment is going. So for example, in your Invisalign app, it will tell you when to change your aligners and when to send your virtual care photos. So today I changed my aligner and that's the day you take your photos. So later I am going to show you that process. It's really quick to do. It looks quite funny, but I just thought I'd show you so you're nice and prepared. The other thing I have learned is that you don't need to cut off the little hooks, unless obviously they are really bothering you. I just hadn't quite mastered how to get my aligners out before, and what I would do is kind of unclip the back and then like pull from the front, which you shouldn't do, and that's where I was pulling the hooks down. But now I can get them in and out really, really quickly. They're always a little bit more tough on the day you've just put new aligners in because they fit a bit more snug, but yeah, just unclip them from the back and then you're not pulling those hooks down. Bella's joined us now. The other thing that I've definitely improved on is just eating and snacking as much as I need to. It definitely helps when you're able to unclip your aligners really easily. It doesn't really hinder that as much as it did for the first few days for me. I also only ever drink water with my aligns in, and if I do drink a cup of tea, then I'll always use a straw and wait till it cools down a bit. You definitely don't want to be staining your attachments or anything, and yeah, the heat can obviously reshape your aligners a bit, which you also don't want. So yeah, I feel like that's all my updates really. Everything's so easy, so smooth. I will show you later me sending the photos through the app and using the device. It does look funny, but it might be useful. Well, please ignore my appearance. It's quite late here now, and I really hope this bathroom fan isn't too distracting. There's no way of turning it off in here. So I'm just about to take my photos and then I will submit them on the Invisalign app. So on the app, you simply click on My Care and then you can take your photos here. It gives you step-by-step instructions as to what to do, so don't worry if you can't remember this, but for the first set you keep your aligners on and then you take some photos with your aligners off. You also use this sexy device. It's like that game, I forget what it's called, you know, where you have to like try and talk and your mouth's all open. Anyway, this basically keeps your lips all out of the way so you can kind of see really far back in the photos. It looks hilarious. So here you go. So I'll click on take photos and you can see the instructions there. And it will count down. Also, don't worry about what you look like because the actual photo that gets submitted is just of your teeth alone. It crops out the rest of your face, so don't worry about it. So I'm going to pop this in. I probably won't be able to talk with it in. So here goes. Okay, start now. Okay, it's taken the first one, and now I have to turn my head and pull this. So it shows you a rectangular box. I'm not sure if you can see that, and you have to get your smile in the box, and then you don't press the button to take the photo. It automatically takes it when you're aligned with that box, but as you're sort of I find them harder to take when you're facing away because you're accidentally going out the box, but it's fine. We took the first step, so now you take your aligners out. It's very easy to dribble with this in. I'm so sorry if I do that. Okay. And the same thing basically without your aligners on. And then the final set, same thing, but you close your teeth, close your bite. Alright, so there's my photos. As you can see, they are close-ups. You can't see that I'm in pyjamas. And you can also type some optional notes to your doctor here as well. Just send. You'll receive feedback as well from them. There you go. And now, as I've already brushed and flossed my teeth and I'm ready for bed, I've also brushed my aligners, so you can just use a clean toothbrush and brush them. I'll just rinse them quickly now. So I'm going to pop these back in. And now is the time I like to use my Propel device. So this goes for 5 minutes. Again, I've just given it a rinse and it's time for bed. Really good. It was very reassuring to hear that everything seems to be going really well. So I also found out some cool information. So, you know, I have 29 aligners to go to complete the whole treatment plan. Well, apparently all the correction will be done by aligner number 22, and then kind of 22 to 29 is just not really changing anything, just kind of keeping your teeth the same while we wait for the mouth guard, night guard thing to arrive. What's it called? You know, like the final kind of mouth guard that will be made for you, which will be based off of your last aligner. So that's kind of cool to know that sort of the work will be done by aligner number 22, really. The other cool thing was, so my orthodontist gave me access to my ClinCheck plan, which is what they will show you, like the 3D scan, 3D rendering of your teeth that they will show you in the clinic, and to show you the improvements that can be made and will be made with Invisalign. And they've actually sent this to me, so you can ask for access to this and then you can look at it at home as well. So it's really interesting to see. So this will look like it's moving really slowly, but you can see the aligner number you're on, and then it will show the teeth moving. So it's actually really hard to see, like it doesn't look like a massive difference, but obviously I'm just having the smile refresh option. I am now on aligner number 15, and I thought I would just hop on here really quickly because I'm really pleased with the results I'm seeing so far, and especially with my bottom teeth. Actually, I'll just show you. So got a really nice shape going on there. Actually, I also thought I would mention a couple of little tips I've just learnt during my Invisalign treatment. So obviously big things like remember to take your Invisalign carry case out with you if you're like having drinks or a meal out with friends, so you can just take your aligners out and pop them in your bag. But a couple of just random little things. But don't eat curry on the day you change your aligner. So what I mean by that is, if you eat food with turmeric in, it does stain your aligners a little bit. It isn't as important for people like me on the fast track treatment plan where we're changing our aligners every 4 days, say, but if you're keeping your aligners in for like 1 or 2 weeks, you definitely don't want your aligners to be stained. Okay, the second tip I have written down is wash and put your old aligner back in the bag before you get your new set out, because the aligners are not numbered. Just to make sure you are definitely putting on your new aligners and not putting back on your old aligners. Hello, I have just switched over to aligner number 25 and I am about to head over to Smiles Orthodontics in a moment for a checkup. So last week when I was on Invisalign number 23, I was actually booked in to go and have my attachments removed and essentially to finish the Invisalign treatment. However, I did have to postpone my appointment for a couple of reasons, so that's why I'm going in the following week and I'm now on aligner number 25. I'm not 100% convinced that I will have my attachments removed today, however, because one of my front teeth is looking a little bit wonky. I probably noticed this around Invisalign number 19. I just trust the process that, you know, as your teeth are shifting together, they're sort of going like this, so just to wait it out. However, it's now looking a lot better than it did. It's less noticeable, but it's still not perfect. So I am more than happy to continue the treatment plan for another couple of weeks to ensure that we get the best results possible. So we'll see what they say today. And I believe when you're extending your aligners, your treatment plan by a few weeks, it's called refinement aligners. So yeah, we'll see if they need to look at my teeth, do any scans or anything, and potentially order a few more aligners. I'll see what they say. I'll just show you with my aligners on to start with, just because I think this illustrates how the tooth doesn't quite fill the aligners, and there's a little gap in one of the corners where it sort of needs to shift. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that on here, but just there. Now I'll take my aligners out to show you properly. Okay, yeah, so it's this tooth here, and you can probably see it more just because the bottoms of them aren't aligned properly. That probably illustrates it a bit better. I'm aware that it doesn't look bad or anything like that. It's just not, you know, 100% perfect yet.
Really movement detected there.
That's really cool that you can tell that.
Right?
What does the grey mean? Just
green is move to plan.
Okay.
Yellow is it moved, just not as much as we wanted. Then the white, very minor movements. This color here, these ones didn't really move, this more grayish color.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, that one's like kind of minor movements. So yeah, I mean, you have a lot of green actually, which is quite lovely. But I think we just need to do a little tweaking, particularly here. And then we'll take a little look and just see what's like maybe getting stuck there too.
So I've just had some of my teeth filed down a tiny bit to smooth them out, and this will give us a clearer idea of which teeth, if any, still need moving slightly. It's just this tooth here that bothers me really. So now we're going to rescan my teeth now that they've been filed down a bit. I'll show you how much smoother they look. Okay, I'm back home and we've got kind of good and bad news. So lots of my teeth had moved to plan and looks great, and they've polished up the bottoms a bit to tidy them up. I do have to wait about a month for the new aligners to arrive, the refinement aligners. And then depending on what Dr. MacKenzie and Invisalign suggests, I could have 10 to 20 more aligners, which is essentially doubling my treatment time, which is a bit hard to stomach just because, I mean, 3 months was so doable. 6 months is, you know, half the year, and I was really looking forward to just having half the summer without my aligners on. Having said that, what's a few months really? You know, I'm not going to be repeating what I did before, where I had the train track braces when I was young and then 20 years later I'm having Invisalign. Like, the final results I get to will be my teeth for life if I'm sleeping with the nighttime aligners in every night and just maintaining their current positioning. So really, in the grand schemes of things, what's a few more months? But it is like, yeah, I thought I'd maybe just have to extend them by a couple of weeks to sort out the wonky tooth, but a few more months is long. However, yeah, it's doable, it's still relatively fast, and I do just want to get the best results we can possibly get to. And I am just so used to having Invisalign now, you know, it's not like embarrassing or anything like that. You just really adjust to having them. So I'm not like super desperate to have them removed. And not relevant to this video, but we did actually have to postpone our wedding. So it was going to be a few weeks ago. It's now going to be next year. So I will have finished my treatment time long before then, in time for our wedding. Hard to explain, but we're also now having our honeymoon before our weddings. We just kept the original date, long story. So I will be finished in time for our honeymoon, which is in December and January, so that's good, and finish in time for Christmas and things. So yeah, it's still good. We have just got home from dog sitting for my parents we were there for almost 3 weeks. And as we were boarding the ferry to get across, because they live on Vancouver Island, I was like, oh no, I've forgotten to bring any Invisalign retainers with me. So this is complicated, but my parents were flying to England for 3 weeks, and we were kind of like house swapping for one night because they were going to stay at ours, which is closer to the airport, that night, and then fly the next day. Thank goodness, because I had to call my dad and be like, can you please mail out, like priority mail out my Invisalign and my charger from my Propel device, which I realised I'd forgotten as well. So luckily I had my Propel device, the vibrating thing. I had all my Invisalign so I could change them when I needed to. So that was great. So don't be like me when you go away. Remember to pack as many as you'll need. But I forgot the device where, you know, like it opened your mouth out to send your progress pictures. So I had to send my photos just doing this. I felt like a school kid, like pulling faces on the playground. It was so funny. But I wanted to hop on here not just to tell you that, also because I'm very excited. It's Saturday now. On Monday I am due to have my brackets removed, and hopefully my treatment will be finished. We'll see what they say. I have to go and see. They'll ask how I feel about my teeth. They'll check to see if my teeth have moved as planned. But they are looking so much better. I'll show you a close-up. Honestly, it might be that I need one of my big front teeth kind of filing down a bit, but I think they're looking so much more level now. This kind of extended Invisalign I've had tacked onto the end, I think has done wonders. I'm really, really glad we didn't stop it before at my old end date, and I know Smiles wouldn't have wanted to either, because, you know, they want to give me a perfect smile and make sure the treatment's fully worked. So sometimes it just happens. Your teeth are a bit stubborn to move, even if you're doing all the right things, wearing the retainers for 22 hours a day, using the Propel device and things. Sometimes it just happens, but I am so happy with the results now, and I am also so excited to have my Zoom teeth whitening treatment, which I should be having done next week sometime, a few days after I have everything removed. So that's just gonna be fabulous. All right, this was just so cool. So I haven't really been noticing, just like to my naked eye, any progress with my teeth. I'm sure they have been shifting, it's just like hasn't been that noticeable when I've looked in the mirror. And then all of a sudden I just put retainer number 9 on. It was hard to go on, like it did clip onto my teeth okay, but it hurt. Like it was aching for 2 days, I think. Anytime I put it in or took it out to, you know, eat or drink, it hurt, and I haven't had that yet, but my goodness, it worked wonders. Like I could feel it working, and within less than 24 hours of wearing it, the bottoms of my teeth are like evened out. I can't believe it. I know that the Invisalign trays, they would have been working, but this was like, I put it in, I was like, oh, that feels achy and tight, and I can see the results in less than a day from it. I'm so happy. Thank you, retainer number 9. That's retainer number 9 of my second round of Invisalign, by the way. And I thought I would mention it just because maybe you will notice that if you're going a few days or weeks where you're kind of like, oh, I can't really notice much difference when I look in the mirror, maybe this one retainer will be like, wow, okay, you are really making a lot of visible progress. I am just about to head into Smiles for them to take a look at my teeth movement and see if I'm ready to have my Invisalign removed. Ready to be debonded, so here's the final look at my teeth with the attachments on. Okay, so I have been debonded. My teeth feel so smooth. I've still got the goggle mark on my forehead. I am now actually going to have my teeth whitened with Zoom teeth whitening, so I'm just going to stick around here for a little bit until I can go and sit back in a chair. I'm so excited. It's like the finale to have glowing white teeth. Hopefully not as glowing as Ross from Friends. All the Zoom teeth whitening things laid out. Okay, I'm back in a chair, ready for my Zoom teeth whitening. I have the machine behind me, I'm not sure if you can see that. And I have a bell to ring because apparently it runs in cycles of about 15 minutes. So at the end of each cycle I can ring the bell and then someone can come in.
Let's see. Okay, you're probably... I think you're about a 2. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, like, it's not uniform all the way, but...
I think some look like
yeah.
1, some are 2.
Some are 1, some are 2, I agree. Okay, so let's just say you're 1, 2.
So I'm at home now. I've been back for a few hours. I'm just about to hop in the shower if you can hear the water running. Have to say my teeth and whole like mouth is hurting quite a bit now. I have sensitivity from the teeth whitening and then also just sort of like a bit of a pulsing headache, I guess, from the kind of, I don't know if drilling's the right word, but getting all the attachments off, debonding. So I'm glad I didn't make any plans this evening. I'd recommend just watching Netflix and napping, that kind of thing. I have taken some painkillers and I'm on a white or non-colour foods only diet for today and tomorrow, just because the pores are open on your teeth after whitening, so it stops them from staining so easily. So I'm having cabbage, cauliflower, white fish and white quinoa, I think, for dinner, and we've got some yogurt for pudding. My teeth are looking amazing though. I only had 3 rounds of the Zoom teeth whitening rather than 4, so they can have the blue light on for 4 lots of 15 minutes, but my teeth started to get quite sensitive, so we just did 3 lots. So they probably could go slightly whiter than this. I don't think they need to be whiter. I think it's a very fresh and like youthful look, so I'm happy. Now a couple of days after I've had my teeth whitened. If we count the day I had them whitened as day 1, the next day 2, and day 3 is today. So I'm still eating non-coloured diet. Today will probably be the last day I do that, but I was just reading online different things. Some people say to not eat any colourful foods for 48 hours afterwards. Some people said 72, so I just thought I'm just going to play it safe. I am really happy with my teeth overall, my actual teeth, like the smile it's created from Invisalign. Obviously Actually, no, I don't know if I've mentioned this on here yet. So my Invisalign journey isn't quite over. So I've had the brackets taken off, which is called debonding, but there's one tooth down here which just hasn't moved quite as we hoped it would, and I can tell that because I get food stuck in it really easily, and I never did before. So the plan is that I'm going to wear my current retainers, like the trays I still have from my normal Invisalign, just at night only. Even though I don't have the brackets on my teeth, you can still wear them, they'll still work some magic. So I just wear them at night, which is nice. I don't need to wear them during the day anymore, yay! And I'm waiting for some new trays to arrive, which I will just wear on my bottom teeth to correct this one pesky tooth, one stubborn tooth. And again, I'll just be wearing those at night. And then after a few weeks, when that tooth has hopefully moved in the correct position, then I will receive my nighttime retainer. You know what I've realised? I was really keen, like really excited to have my Invisalign removed. It's my birthday next month, and then it's our honeymoon the month after, and I just really didn't want it for that, because even though actually having Invisalign isn't really an issue at all, you can barely see it in photos or videos even. I did a modelling shoot a month ago with it and you can't even see it in that. But you do realise, like, first of all, just during the day having to brush and floss your teeth so much more, you know, like because you're taking them out to eat or drink and then brush your teeth, floss them, put them back in, just that time during the day. And also when you're out in public, it doesn't feel the most glamorous or the sexiest in a restaurant, unclipping your Invisalign or checking your teeth just to see if you need to floss or whatever. Obviously you can go to a bathroom to do that, but I don't know. Like the other day I walked into an event and they were offering like champagne at the door, and you sort of walk in and it just feels very much like you're like, oh, looking for the washroom right away to take your Invisalign off. I have felt a bit like a child with all this going on. But having said that, actually when you're in it, I don't want that to put you off at all, because you're just so grateful that it's not those black and silver big train track braces I had as a teenager. And it really, like I said, doesn't really show up when you're talking to someone in person. People often don't even notice that you have it. In photos and videos it barely shows up, but when you have them removed it does feel really nice, like, oh, it's just one less thing to think about. So my teeth aren't sensitive anymore. Yesterday felt so much better than the first day. It just here and there I had little niggles, but I didn't take any medication or anything, only on the first day. And today, yeah, it's like I barely notice it. I am brushing my teeth very, very gently, and I'm using Sensodyne, which I usually use anyway. My one concern is that I just really hope all of the, I don't know if glue is the right word, but like the adhesive to attach the Invisalign bonds on my teeth was fully removed, because it does look like on a couple of my teeth that the whitening has kind of gone around there. I'll show you, see if you can see. It's not going to focus. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but essentially the edges of my tooth, like literally in a photo frame shape, is very white, and the middle is a bit yellower, and it's almost sort of a, not a perfect square, but a sort of basically where the glue was. So I'm a bit nervous about that. I have read online that your teeth actually get slightly whiter over the next 2 weeks after Zoom teeth whitening. Again, I'm not sure that's 100% true, but I'm just going to wait, see if anything balances out, because I do have little patches of white on my teeth as well. Can you see that? So even though they look really lovely and white, like from far away, when I do look close, I am a bit worried about maybe the glue and the white, you know, whether I'll have to have parts of them redone or something. Maybe I should have left like a week gap or something between having the Invisalign removed and having my teeth whitened. We'll see. Alright, it's now been another couple of months actually of me wearing the refinement retainers, and I'm just about to go back into Smiles Orthodontics now for, this is my final appointment, I'm pretty certain. It's my final Invisalign appointment at Smiles, just picking up my night retainer today. I'm working the fresh face look today. I landed back in Vancouver late last night, but here are my night retainers, Vivera retainers. I'm very excited to try these out. Well, I've come to the end of my Invisalign treatment now, and therefore the end of this vlog. I now have my Vivera retainers, which I will wear at night time only, just to keep my teeth in their current position. They look very much like normal Invisalign retainers. I believe they're a bit stronger so that they last around 1 year. And then, yes, you do have to pay to replace them. So I believe you can pay that on the spot, like yearly, or you can pay it off monthly, and then you get a new little carry case. So I'm so happy with my results. It was all so worth it, painless, and yeah, couldn't be happier. So I just wanted to give a big thanks to everyone at Smiles Orthodontics. If you live in North Vancouver or Greater Vancouver, I so recommend them there. My orthodontist was Dr. MacKenzie, and she was brilliant. She was the one that was giving me feedback through the app when I was taking those funny photos like that. And then thank you to everyone actually at the Smiles Orthodontics location as well. Sorry if you can hear Bella, my cat, playing. So big thank you to Jocelyn, Riju, Cherri, everyone else I've worked with on this journey. It's been amazing. And before I go, you can use a code SMILESGeorgina, which I'll put on the screen as well. And if you are booking in for your Invisalign treatment at Smiles Orthodontics, using Smiles Georgina gets you free Zoom teeth whitening at the end, which I really recommend. It's worth about $500, and it just feels like that cherry on top once you're finished. Even if your teeth are pretty white to start with, it's just so nice to get like your perfect smile and be super happy with the results. So yeah, over and out. Good luck on your journey.